Hi everyone, it's Louise from Louloupurple. Today I'm going to be using two of the new pink ink design stamps, the Flamingo and the Llama. So first of all, I'm going to use my picked raspberry distress paint, and I'm just putting some onto my craft mat and adding some water, and I'm just literally going to add this colour to the whole of my stamping card. Now the paint has all dried, I am going to use my Flamingo stamp from Pink Ink Designs. I am using my Tim Holtz stamp platform, and here I'm just using some post-it notes because I only want the beak black, and I'm using my archival jet black ink to do that. And now I'm going to use my red geranium archival ink for the rest of the body. I have also stamped the flamingo on a scrap piece of paper, and I'm just using this as a mask so that I can do the rest of my painting on the background of my card. So here I have a piece of acetate which I have cut out 3 different size circles, and I'm going to use this to do my background. I'm using my distressed paint picket fence, and I'm using a piece of cut and dry foam, and I'm just going to apply the paint through the stencil to make some circles. Once the paint has all dried, I then use my picked raspberry distress ink, and I'm using my blending tool to apply the ink through the circle stencil in the same way that I did the paint. I'm using another stamp from the set and the picked raspberry distress ink just to add a bit of interest to the background. I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer shakers. This one is the candy pink, and I'm just tapping it onto my craft mat into a bit of water, and I'm going to use this as a paint to paint my piece of card. Once the first layer had all dried, I then apply a second and a third layer so that the colour is more intense. So here I am removing the paper mask that was covering the flamingo, and I'm going to use the Creative Expressions adhesive eraser. Now the mask that I had on, I used a temporary spray glue to hold it in position. So this is the first time I've used the eraser, and it really works quite well with a spray adhesive. and just to show you all the adhesive that's stuck to the eraser. I'm using my picked raspberry distress ink again, and I've just sprayed it with some water so that it is more fluid, and I'm just using my brush to colour in the flamingo. I'm going to be using my Derwent Ink Tense pencils, and I'm also going to be using my Derwent Colour Soft pencils. So first of all, I'm using the Ink Tense pencils. You add water to them and you can use them like a watercolour paint, but once they are dried, they are permanent. So as you can see, my watercolouring skills are not the best, so I'm now using my Derwent Colour Soft pencils to add some more detail and shading. I'm using one of the flower stamps from the set, and I'm just stamping this with the red geranium archival ink onto the piece of Shimmer Shaker card that we painted. So here I'm just showing you that I'm using a stick pin just to open up the holes around the outside edge of the die. I then use my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue to stick my painted piece of card onto a black piece of card. I'm using red geranium archival ink again just to stamp the saying onto a piece of card. I've cut this out using one of my pierced flag dies, and I'm using the picked raspberry distress ink and my blending tool just to add some colour around the outside edge of my flag. I'm using the same archival ink and my blending tool just to add some colour to the outside edge of the flowers. I then use my flower tool just to give the flower a bit of dimension. I'm using some Sticks to foam pads on the back of my flag saying to add a bit more dimension. I also use my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue on the back of this so that you have wiggle time to get the saying in the right position. So here I am just adding the flowers to my card as well. I'm going to use the diamond stickles just to add a bit of glitter to the inside of the flowers. And that is the first card all finished. As you'll see in a moment, the photo of the finished card is a lot brighter than the video footage of the card. For my second card, I'm going to use the Llama Queen stamps from Pink Ink Designs, and there you can see all the extra elements you get with it. For this one, I'm going to use my VersaFine ink. This one is the Vintage Sepia, and I'm just using the stamp platform to stamp the saying onto my stamping card. For my background, I'm going to use the Mustard Seed Distress ink with my blending tool, and I'm just adding a blob of colour to the bottom right hand side of my card. I then use the Wild Honey Distress ink and a blending tool to add some colour to the rest of the card. So a tip when you're blending your distress inks together, as you can see, I'm adding the wild honey just up to the mustard seed, not into it. Once I've added all the wild honey, I then use the mustard seed blending tool again to go around the edge of the two colours to blend them in. I then use the Vintage Photo Distress ink and the blending tool to go around the outside edge to give it a border. So I'm just going to line up my llama to where I want it on my stamp platform, and I'm using the VersaFine Vintage Sepia ink to stamp the image of my llama onto my card. I'm just using some of the extra stamps that you get with this set to add some interest to my background. I'm going to use my Derwent Coloursoft pencils to colour in the llama's crown and all the flowers around its head. I'm going to use my Faber-Castell Pitt pen dark sepia to go around the outside edge of all my flowers. And here I'm using my flower tool just to give the flowers some dimension. I'm using some sticks to foam pads just to give the saying a bit of a lift. And here I'm using my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue just to add the flowers to the llama's headband. I'm using the purple liquid pearls just to add a pearl drop to the top of the llama's crown. And I'm going to use the diamond stickles in the middle of the flowers to give them a bit of sparkle. And that is this project all finished. As usual, if you would like to buy any of the products I've used in this video, they will be listed on my website blog post. I will leave a link in the description box below this video. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, links to my website, Facebook and more will be in the description box below, or click on the end cards at the end of this video. If you are watching on Pink Ink's channel, links to their website and more will be in the description box below. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to Pink Ink's. Click on the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you got inspired.